Hey guys, what's up? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another Brawl Stars video. Today, let's talk about the new brawler Nani and her super that spawns a flying robot exploding thingy that's super hard to control, also known as Peep. So you only want to use this super when either no one is near you and able to kill you quickly while you're using it, or the only one who is near you is the person you're trying to target and actually hit with the super, and they're a close range brawler, because if that's the case, obviously they can't get close enough to kill you if there's a giant floating bomb in their way. But if you do have a specific target, try to use all your attacks on them first, so that way you can recharge ammo while you're driving Peep, and so that you can get the last bit of damage you need to kill them with Peep if they try to run away. Because with the camera moving and the little bit of delay after you actually hit something with the super, it's sometimes really difficult to immediately get back to attacking right after using your super. So it's better if you use Peep to end battles and stop them, so that way you don't have to worry about attacking immediately after them, rather than using your super in the middle of them and still having to deal extra damage after you use it. Now, I find myself using this super most whenever I'm at low health and I'm just staying back to heal normally. Since you can heal while your super is in progress, it's a great way to still get value out of playing safe. You can just walk back very far onto your side behind a wall with low health and just heal up while you're tracking people down and ready to smack them with the solid 3000 damage. Peep is also really useful at close range. Since it pushes back brawlers when it explodes, you can use it in things like Brawl Ball. When someone is holding a ball, you can just walk up right close to them, use your super immediately on top of them, and it's going to instantly explode, deal all that damage, as well as force them to drop the ball, and then you can pick it up, throw it far away from them, so that way they can't bring it any closer to your goal. And even if you're not in Brawl Ball, sometimes using it at close range is very beneficial, because it just gets you a very quick burst of damage and forces them to be pushed back a little bit, so they're stalled from using attacks, and you might buy enough time to get out of their range and out of danger. And another great time to use a super is when there's not much time left in the match and you just respawned. You're like, oh no, there's only 10 seconds. How am I going to get to the other side and help my team score that last goal or kill that person with all the gems and gem grab? But if you just use your super at that time, you have a super fast movement speed, so that way you can control Peep and go all the way over to the other side in a very short amount of time and assist your teammates with extra damage, as well as that pushback effect. And then of course, since Peep actually breaks walls, it can be super useful in Brawl Ball if you use your super solely for the purpose of just driving directly into the wall in front of the goal, and you can easily get 3 tiles of wall in a row broken just by using your super. You can also get 4 in a row if you hit it perfectly in the center, but I find it very hard to do that a lot of times, so usually I just go for 3 to keep it safe. But then once the goal is wide open, it becomes so much easier for your team to score, and Peep is the best brawler for doing this, because unlike other wall breaking supers like Shelly or Brock, you don't have to be directly near the wall. You can be in your spawn zone, literally inside your own goal, and still use your super, drive it all the way to your opponent's side, and still break open those walls whenever you want. And since in Brawl Ball, a lot of times it's going to be difficult to get a lot of value out of Peep, since there's a lot of walls everywhere and you're not going to be playing too aggressively, just using your super to break walls can sometimes just be the best value you can get out of it at the beginning of a game. Now let's talk about some other smaller tricks that you can use when actually using the super and maneuvering it around. So if you're directly on top of either someone else or directly next to a wall, there's a very short delay time in between actually using your super and having it explode on the wall. It's really only about 1/10 of a second. But then if you compare that to Tick's super, who has a very similar mechanic in that it's a giant bomb thing that can chase after other people, it's so much better, because Tick actually takes a full 1¼ seconds to explode from the time you use it, even if you throw it directly on someone. So Peep's shortened delay time as compared to Tick is actually super useful. It's very good for close range, since if anyone tries to get close to you, you can instantly use your super and just in 1/10 of a second have it explode on them and get that pushback as well as the damage. And since it can also go directly into the walls, another thing that Tick Super cannot do, it has even more value. You can just walk near any set of walls you want if they're in front of the goal, is usually the best value you can get out of it, and just immediately throw your super directly at the walls. There's nothing your opponents can do about it. So it's a very, very good super. Another thing I found really weird with Nani's super is the fact that whenever you actually hit a target with Peep, the movement joystick that you are using actually immediately resets to where your thumb is placed on the screen. So that means if you're constantly moving forward, holding your thumb in that same position, and then you use Peep while moving forward, and you hit someone because you're at close range or something, I do this all the time. If you don't move your thumb that entire time, right when Peep hits that object, the joystick is gonna reset to be centered around your thumb, and since it wasn't moving, that means now you're gonna stop moving. So this is a really weird interaction, and I found out it screwed up a lot of games for me because I wasn't expecting to just immediately stop moving like that. So I actually took the time to look at the footage, and I found that there is exactly a 0.4 second delay in between the time when Peep explodes and the joystick actually resets. So if you lift your finger off the screen right when Peep explodes for those 0.4 seconds and you put it right back on the screen, then you'll be good to go and it'll be just like normal and you can start moving again. So I strongly recommend, even if you're using Peep at close range just to destroy a couple walls or someone who's directly on top of you, make sure you stop moving right when it explodes so that way you can get back into battle quicker and start moving and start attacking again. So now if you add this 0.4 second delay into the 0.1 second delay that it takes in between using the super and having it explode, then in total, if you're using Peep directly at close range on a wall or on a brawler, it'll only take a half second in total to completely use your super and regain control of Nani, as long as you make sure your finger is off the movement joystick for that entire time. So it's a bit janky with the fact that it screws up your movement even if you're using it at close range, but I'm sure you'll get used to it. Just make sure you try to stop moving right when you use it and then start moving right after. Now finally, let's talk about the most effective way to turn with Nani and the most consistent way. So it takes about 2/3 of a second to complete a turn with Peep. And so to consistently make a turn around a corner without running into anything else, you want to drag the joystick to change direction about a half a second before you reach the edge of the corner that you're trying to turn around. No matter how fast you're going, it's always going to be about that half of a second. But when you are going faster, the turns do become wider. So if you're trying to go around a corner towards the end of your super, you do need to be farther away from the corner so that way you don't hit it as you're turning. And if you want some exact numbers for that, at the start of your super, the turning radius is about 1 tile, so you can basically hug the wall and you'll be fine. But by the end of the super, the turning radius is all the way up at about 3 tiles, so you really need to make sure you're keeping your distance from the wall if you don't want to accidentally clip it while you're trying to make a turn. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and a comment down below if you did. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll know whenever I post more helpful guides like this one. But that's all for today, guys, so see you later.